guys, John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. It's great to be with you tonight. If you're new, you'll notice a QR code at the top right. Just go ahead and take your phone and scan that QR code. Really grateful if you do that. That'll bounce you over to my link tree. What is my link tree? Well, you can get there by also going to Believe, Believe, me, M-E, Achieve, ACHIEVE.com. Once you do that, you'll see lots of great things. But definitely check out John's daily National Day video, the very top thing, and also Jason Academy TikTok. There's so much great stuff there. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys know this, but tonight, or actually tonight, I did a little recording before, but today is actually National Meringue Day. Did you know that? And if you're wondering, when did National Meringue Day start? Well, that's an excellent question. So National Meringue Day started a while back with Elizabeth in Philadelphia. And so this is pretty cool because I find that a lot of people don't realize, but it was in 1806 that a Philadelphian, Elizabeth Goodfellow, invented lemon meringue pie. And it's become a staple in cookbooks all over the United States and the countries. So definitely a great thing to do. You can have, today I had a pecan tart, just had a little piece of it. You want to have the meringue, really high on the peaks. It was really good. So definitely check out that video. Thank you so much for watching. You know that every single night we have a new topic based on the master topic of the week, starting on Saturday, ending on Friday. We get a little bit more granular each day. Let's dive in there. And if you are coming back, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and wonderful associates. Thank you so much for being here. Really grateful for you. And in addition to doing that, you can check out all the great content we have. And I hope that you'll be loyal, just like many other people have been as well. All right, let's get ready for that master topic, shall we? All right, how and why to be responsible. All right, so let's talk about one. I think that's a really interesting one, and that is how to be responsible, yes, ladies and gentlemen, with money. Oh, this is a real cool one. So there's lots of things you can do, right? So people say develop a financial plan, identify long-term goals, short-term goals, save, build emergency safe nets, get a raise, get multiple income streams coming in, build your credit, manage it, pay bills on time, read the fine print before you sign, and choose the right insurance plan all the time. All right. So there's lots of great stuff, but I want to go back to a parable. You guys know I'm religious. I want to go back to this parable, and it basically talked about the 3 talents. Now, talents, let's think of talents today like coin or money, tender, right? So in those days, they had 3 people, and these 3 people that were given the talents. One was given talents, the second was given talents, and the third one was given talents. Now, they were each given the same amount of talents. Let's just say for this example that they were each given 2 talents, okay, 2 coins, what have you. So they each got their 2 talents, and then a month later, the person that gave them came back and said, so what did you do with my 2 talents? And the first person said, oh, sir, I saw something great and I bought it. I spent them. Oh, okay. Next person. What did you do with your 2 talents? Oh, I was really concerned about making sure that nothing happened to these 2 talents. So I took them, I put them under my mattress, and I sleep on them, and I watch them day and night, put them into my wallet, and I watch them, and I sleep on them, and I just make sure nothing happens to them because I don't want to lose them. Okay. Third person, what did you do with your talents? Well, I took the 2 talents, sir, and I actually invested them. And now I have 4 talents. So at the end of that breath, the person who gave the talents out said, and I have more talents. And to those that manifest will get more. And he gave the rest of the talents to that third person, because that person knew how to manage the talents and to bring an ROI. I think that is really, really cool. So when people talk about financial responsibility, it means understanding the money that you have today and how do you live your life and how do you do the things you want to do and grow and yet take risks, but then take that money and grow it into something else. How do you do that? Now, there have been stories all around where people, will take side jobs. It could be Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, and they take this money and then they use it to invest in other things so that they can not have to do this their whole life. But they're grateful for the money they get, even if it's small change. They're grateful the fact that they're getting something. And I think that mindset really means something to me, and I know to a lot of people. So when we think about being financially responsible, it means that, first of all, you're grateful for the money you have and you spend your money wisely. You don't squander it. Okay. You try to be very frugal with your money. Not that you're not giving, but you try to make sure that when you spend your money, you're going to get a good ROI. And if you're giving money to charity, well, you give to certain charities, not all charities, right? And so when we think about being financially responsible, it means that you are taking accountability. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for your actions that either lead to financial wealth growth or financial loss. Now, the people that have financial loss usually become so intrepidated by the situation they're in that they panic and they don't know what to do. And so when you start to embrace the fact you got to have a financial plan, I don't say that this has to be a 10 million page like a financial expert's going to do for you, but I'm just talking about a short financial plan that's going to help you from where you want to go to getting into something where you can be independent. What does that mean? Independent means that you're able to exist on your own. Codependent means that you are needing someone else to support you. For example, when you're growing up, you are dependent on your parents so they can provide you money, they can provide you resources, they can provide you food, clothing, right? You're dependent. But as you get older and you graduate high school or you graduate college, you hopefully become independent. Because here's the thing, your parents won't be here forever, unfortunately, but you need to be dependent on yourself, not dependent on your parents. Because, when you are independent, you create your own future. You can celebrate your own future and you don't have to be sad about, oh my gosh, you take responsibility, you take accountability for what's happening in your life. Now, that might sound a little bit crazy, but it is the truth. So financial responsibility is one big part of how and why you should be responsible, right? So you can think about all the ways you can improve your finances, you can stabilize your income, you can set financial goals, you can get educated, you can work on budgets, you can save money, you can learn about employment benefits, you can establish credit profiles, avoid expensive debt, you can monitor your debt to income ratio, you can use credit cards responsibly, you can buy smart, check your credit score regularly, avoid co-signing credit for friends and family. Now, I know so many people say, hey, John, they're a good friend, I want to co-sign. The fact that your friend is asking you to do that is actually not a good thing. Because if you're not in business together, and let's say they do something and it goes south, well, now you have to hold up that end of the stick because they may not be as responsible as you think they are. Avoid lending money. I can share this one with you. So many years ago, I'm not going to give you the person's name. This person actually was at a client site that we did work for. They're not in business anymore. And this kid was there and we were just being friends. And we were hanging out. And one night he was telling me, we can't get a job and all these things. And I was feeling bad for him. I said, gee, I'll come up to your place. I'll help you. We'll write your resume. We'll get you interviews. And he's like, well, Okay. So we do this. We spend all this time. And then you know what happens? He gets an interview. And then he says to me, John, but I can't get there. So what do you mean you can't get there? I have an interview next week, but I can't get there. Well, I'm just going to call the person Mike. That's not his name. Mike, why can't you get there? Well, my truck doesn't work. What do you mean it doesn't work? Well, there's a problem with it. It's at the service station, and right now I don't have money to pay for it. So I said, well, how much do you need to get your truck fixed? Oh, probably about $2,500. So I said, where's your truck right now? And he gave me the name and the number. And so I said, hang on. I called the place up and I talked to this guy named Joe. And I said, hey, Joe, you got Mike's vehicle? He says, yeah. What's wrong with it? Oh, the catalytic converter is bad. I said, and that's $2,500? Oh, no. It's not $2,500. To fix the catalytic converter, it's probably only about $500, $600. The most, $800. Okay, well, how did we get to 2,500? Oh, no, that's because he wanted to add all these other things, spoilers and other things on the side of the car, but they're not part of getting the car fixed. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. I authorize you to use my credit card that I'm going to give you right now to fix his car for just what it needs to make it run and make it safe. And that's just the catalytic converter. Everything else is okay. There's nothing else wrong. No, everything else is fine. Okay, great. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to talk to him. I'm not paying for all the other stuff. Okay. But I'm just paying for that. Sounds good. Great. I call him back. Hey, Mike, listen, I talked to the dealership. Oh, great. And I'm going to pay to have your car fixed. You're going to give the $2,500? I said, no. Oh, well, you're not going to help me then. Well, how am I going to get to my job? Well, first of all, it's not going to cost $25 to get your car fixed. It's only going to cost about $600 to $800. All the other stuff was just accessories that you wanted, but they're not really required to make your car run. So I'm going to loan you the money. I've given him my credit card so that he can fix the stuff. He's ordered the part, and he'll have the vehicle ready for you the end of the week in plenty of time for your interview on Tuesday. Oh, that's great. So he has this interview, and he asked me if I could give him a reference. Now, I've known this guy for a while, so I'm like, okay, I'll give him a reference. And so I give him this reference, and, a third party calls and all that kind of stuff. And I gave him the reference, and I figured this is really going to help him, and it's going to be a great thing for him. So I'm happy to give him the reference. All right, so I give him the reference. And he's like, I'll pay you back. Don't worry about it. I said, okay, whenever you can. I said, you'll get a job. I said, you pay me back a little bit of time whenever you can. Fine. So I give the reference. Within a month or so, I don't hear from him anymore. And then I hear he got the job, which I'm glad he got the job. A year goes by. And I said, how's your job? Oh, it's great. Everything's wonderful. I don't ask about my money. Another month or two goes by, and I said, hey, Chris, I said, how's everything going? Chris, well, I could give you his name, but anyway. So I said, how's everything going? And he's like, oh, everything's going great. Well, that's good. He's getting ready to take a vacation. I said, that's awesome. You got a good job. You're happy. He said, yeah. I said, I spent $800 on you for fixing your catalytic converter so you could get a job. And I haven't seen any payments from you. Oh, yeah, John, I'm going to get you something. So about 6 months go by. He invites me up to his place with him and his significant other. And I don't say anything about the money. I bring, a pie from a bakery. And doesn't say anything. And I said, can I talk to you for a second? He said, yeah. I said, it's been close to 2 years. I haven't even gotten $50 back from you. I haven't even gotten $1 back from you. No, I know it's been really tight. So here's what I did. I said, you know what, John, don't ask anymore. But realize that you learned an expensive lesson and this friendship's over. So we had dinner, all this great stuff. Another week goes by. I don't call him anymore. He reaches out to me and says, "Hey, John, do you want to come?" I said, "I'm really busy right now. I'll have to get back to you." And he never paid me. And the part that's really heart wrenching there is that I spent all this time with him, came up late at night to help him write his resume and do all these things for him, help do some mock interviews and all kinds of stuff. And he was just very ungrateful for what I did for him. And I realized that I got abused and used for my money. I said, John, that's the last time that's going to happen. So I made a decision that if something like that happens again, and I don't know the person like really, really, really well. I mean, like more than a couple of years. Someone that I know like really, 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 really well. And what I want to say to you is that if I don't know them really, really well, I mean, well enough that I would trust them with my finances, and that's pretty rare. So I said to myself, it's going to be very far between that I'm going to ever lend somebody money again. And if I go to lend that money, I got to make sure, A, there's a signed document in place, okay, that is basically binding in the court in my state. And I've got to make sure that there's a fair repayment plan, and that if that person doesn't pay, that it's going to bind someone else in their family. Because I think this is the problem. I just did a handshake, but I got screwed. I literally got screwed. And that was not fair. That was not fair to me. So I said to myself, somebody asks you for money. First thing you're going to do is you're going to say you don't have it. Now, I even have these people on the street. You've been at these places where you're walking around and they always ask you for money. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to give them any money because they said they want money to buy food and whatever. Who knows what else they're going to buy? So I go to the local deli or pizza place, and I go and get them a slice of pizza and some soda. I bring it back to the guy. He goes, "What the is this?" I said, "Well, you're asking for money for food. I'm giving you food." He takes the pizza and he takes the water and he just throws it to the ground. And it was only $8 or $9, but I was like, I went out of my way to get you something, I said to myself. And he had the nerve to do that with what I gave to him. That's terrible. So responsibility means how you're acting to yourself, how you're acting to society, how you're acting to others, and knowing what all that means. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you again this evening. I hope that you will, yes, comment below. What does financial responsibility mean to you and those around you? Go ahead and comment below. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. Then go to my YouTube channel, John Space E Space Morley Space Serial Entrepreneur, and look for the key phrase "Help keep our content free." And make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a savory piece of watermelon, a delicious vanilla cone, yes, and maybe even a nice icy cool drink on a summer day. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And you know what? I'm going to be back tomorrow with another episode, getting even more granular about this topic, about how and why to be responsible. Have yourself a great night, everyone. Take care.